Hey guys, how's it going? T-Bird here, coming at you with a brand new video, and I'm really excited for today's video because I'm going to be talking about how to win every single Fortnite solo game you play. And I think this video is really going to help out a lot of you guys that are struggling to either get your first win or maybe just get a few more wins under your belt. But I think these tips are really going to help you. If you guys have seen any of my past videos, you guys could probably tell I'm not a passive player, so I'm not going to tell you guys to just camp the whole game and just out survive everybody, because honestly that's not the best. That's just not a way to get better. So with these tips I'm going to help you guys win. I'm going to give you smart tips, so I'm not going to tell you to be overly aggressive because that's really just to get high kills, but I'm definitely not going to tell you guys to be passive. So stick along to the end of the video, and I think you guys are going to get a lot more wins, or maybe even your first victory royale. So the first tip I really have for you guys is I recommend to land on the coast of the map. Whether that be Lonely Lodge, whether that be Snobby, Moisty Mire. The reason why I recommend that is because one, it's not overpopulated. So what I mean why that's important is because now you don't have to struggle to get your loot in the first 10 seconds of the game. You know, if you land in Tilted and you don't land on a gun within the first 5-10 seconds, you're pretty much good as dead. You know, same as most places, retail, you know, all the big name locations. But for some reason, if you go to Snobby, you go to Lonely, you go to Moisty, there may be a few players, but it's a bigger space. You have more chance to get your weapons, you have more chance to get your mats. And that's really crucial if you're thinking about if you want to win the game. This is a video on how to win. And I'm not going to tell you, okay, now just camp at Lonely or wherever till the end of the game. That's certainly not it. But the reason why I do recommend it is because of the time you get to loot and the time you get to get materials. And sometimes you even get a few kills early game because there are other people having that same idea in mind. The one downside to this is, too, you might not get as many kills off the jump, but if you want to win, you're probably just more focused about winning than necessarily high kills. And two, sometimes it's very far from the storm, so you might have a little running to do. But you know, that sucks, but it's not. Sometimes you get lucky. Like, I'll land Moisty. That's probably my favorite spot, so I recommend you guys try out Moisty if you guys don't do that already. Mainly because the loot is really good. There's the biggest trees in the game in Moisty, so you get max wood almost every time. And they have a ton of those mushrooms that give you shield, so they literally have everything covered. Like I said, sometimes it's a little far from the circle, but sometimes the circle's on it. So it's definitely worth a shot. Definitely give Moisty or any of those other coast areas a shot, because it's really going to help your early game, and that's a big problem people have. Another tip I have is if you're gonna rotate, which I definitely recommend to rotate. If you guys don't know what rotating, it really just means, you know, moving to where you think players are gonna be or where you don't think they're gonna be, depending on your play style. But if you want to win, I say rotate towards the outer circle, mainly because you're gonna find a lot of people. Well, you're not gonna find a lot of people, but the people that you do see are probably going to be people that are weakened by a storm, just coming out of the storm, coming into the circle. And it's a lot less congested than, you know, it's a lot less congested than inner circle. Mainly just because, you know, inner circle, everyone tends to go there to try to be set up for the next circle, depending on the game, of course. So rotating outer circle definitely helps your chances of getting some more kills, but also to survive. The reason why I like outer circle so much is because it's kind of like a cover behind you. Usually there's not going to be people coming out of the storm, so it's kind of like you don't have to, you know, you have one less angle you have to really look at. That's just something that I like to do. If I'm really trying to get a win, I like to rotate outer circle. Another tip is to spectate the gunfights before you just go in there, guns blazing. Now, if you hear gunshots, that's up to you if you want to push them. The type of player I am, I always go for gunshots because I like to get some kills. But, so if you're like me and you happen to gravitate towards gunfire, definitely spectate before you just jump in there, because a lot of times I've gone to fights, I've gone to where the gunfire is, and I'll see other people doing what I'm doing, and they're lingering around and they're not fighting. They're just doing, like I said, they're watching. So those are the players you're going to want to take care of, because that guy is going to shoot you the second you try to interfere with the other fight. Or sometimes you can see, okay, you can tell who's the better player of the two. So I would say definitely team up with the other guy and take out the harder opponent and then get the weaker guy. So there's a bunch of reasons why I say to do that. Biggest reason, so you don't get, bombarded by another player that you didn't expect, but also so you can kind of see who's the better player, who has the better weapons, and try to take them out first while you're still good on health. Okay, now again, this is strictly tips I'm giving you guys so you can win a larger, percentage of your games. So when it's end game circle, maybe 4 or 5 of the players, the circle's pretty small, build a 1x1. It's just the way to do it. If you're playing, like I said, if you're playing to win, it would be silly not to do a 1x1. And the reason why is because you literally get to just kind of see what's going on in the safety of your own 1x1. And if someone pushes you, they push you, but you kind of have that advantage already. As long as you're paying attention and you know how to build somewhat, you should be able to win that fight, unless you're just not that experienced with building. And I will be making a building video very shortly to help you guys out with that. But 1x1 is the safest play. Sometimes I see inexperienced players just hide, like in a bush or in a house, and it's really not the way to go. You want to just start practicing building your 1x1s. Now, if you're going for kills, like I said, I don't do 1x1s. I rarely do 1x1s at the end game. Even in this gameplay, you can see I'm more of just pushing players right now. But if you really want the win, I would say build a 1x1, let the numbers go down, let the player count go down. This way, you can kind of just spectate, take a breather for a second, and then maybe decide when you want to strike. If you see if there's only 2 players left, then maybe go after it. And the last tip I have for you guys is when you do make that 1x1, make it on the outer circle, because I can't tell you how many times I'll see people do it right in the center and they get sandwiched by both players. So it really avoids getting sandwiched, but everyone hates getting sandwiched in solos, and that's going to help your guys' chances to win more solo games. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, subscribe. That's all for me this time. I'm out.